Everybody, give me a second. Let me get this headset all together here. Get it hooked on up. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, good. Hope everybody can hear me okay. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. My name is Sean, and I am a driver here with Rosedale Transport. Camera's a little dirty. Apologize about that. But just bringing you a live update of the situation where I'm at. I'm still stuck in South Georgia. We're still down here. Been down here since Monday. Had an incident where I hit something in the parking lot and caused a little bit of damage to my trailer, and we're still waiting on the mechanics to get the parts to get everything here fixed. But it is part of trucking, so thought I'd bring you a random live and just talk to you a little bit about. I want to talk to you today about attitude and what the importance of having a good attitude is. You can have a bad attitude, and everything in life that revolves around you will just go to crap. You can have a good attitude and a good positive attitude out of life, and that's what I believe. I believe a good attitude changes everything, and that's, you gotta have a good attitude, y'all. So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. But I do want to say I appreciate everybody for watching my channel. If this is your first time watching, again, my name is Sean. I'm a trainer here with Rosedale Transport, so make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. You can also follow me on Facebook and TikTok, and I do appreciate every person who subscribed, and I appreciate you hit that like and share button. Just remember, though, every day when you wake up that you have a choice to have a good attitude or not to have a good attitude. You live regarding the attitude that you choose. The longer I live, the more I realize the importance of choosing the right attitude in life. It is more important than your past. It's more important than your education or your financial situation. It's more important than your circumstances, your successes or your failures. It's more important than what others think or say or do. It is more important than your appearance, your giftedness, or your skills. Your attitude will make or break a company. It will make a difference between a happy home or a miserable home. You have a choice each day you live regarding the attitude that you choose. You cannot change the years that have passed. You cannot change the daily tick of the clock. I'm convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I respond to it. The same is true for you. Our attitudes is our thought life turned inside out. It's something that's in us that everybody sees it. It comes out in facial expressions. It comes out in body language. It's the posture that we decide to take toward our life. Your attitude is an inward feeling expressed by outward behavior. That's why your attitude shows without saying a word. Your attitude is the portrait of your mind. It's the advancement of your rear self. The roots are hidden, but the fruit is always visible. It's our best friend or it's our worst enemy. It'll draw people toward us or it'll repel people from us. It's never content until it's expressed. It will determine your success or your failure. But our attitudes are the most important factor that determines our success and our potential here in this life. President Thomas Jefferson said, nothing can stop the man with a right mental attitude from achieving his goal, and nothing on earth can help a man with a wrong mental attitude. If you've got the right attitude, nothing can stop you. If you get the wrong attitude, nothing can help you. Our attitude determines our success more than any other factor in our life. That's the truth. So what kind of attitude you're going to have? You get out there in the world, you're having a bad day, your tire blows, you get stranded like I am down here, you get upset with your dispatcher, things goes on in your life. I mean, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna react? It's very important that you choose the right attitude and choose to stay positive. Because if you're not positive, you're never gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a good attitude. Many of you have seen people with the right attitude do nearly impossible things. But with the wrong attitude, hardly do anything. Your attitude makes all the difference. Every circumstance in your life today, your attitude helps you decide whether it's a blessing or a burden. Whether your challenge is inspiring you to believe God for more, or it overwhelms you and you're frustrated by your circumstances. Your attitude is what you use to determine whether you're going to give God the praise and the thanks that He's worthy of, or you're going to complain to everybody you meet about what you're lacking in your life. Studies show that your attitude can have a greater impact on your success than your IQs. You know that? You can be extremely talented, extremely potential, but if you don't have the right attitude, it will keep you from rising higher. You can't change other people. You can't change how you were raised. A lot of life we cannot control, but one thing we can all control is our attitudes. Attitude is more important than aptitude. And your success and happiness in life, it's not your aptitude. It's not how smart you are. It's not how talented you are. You give me a less talented person any day with a good attitude, whether a talented person with a bad attitude. I can do more with that person than the person with a bad attitude. Your attitude is paramount in your life. You've seen that picture before where it's a ship on a very troubled sea. I love that picture because that picture reminds me of the saying, a calm sea never produced a good sailor. An easy life never produced a great person. It's not what I'm going through, it's how I'm going through it. And I would much prefer to work with somebody that has a good attitude and is not as skilled. I'd much rather work with somebody like that than to work with somebody that's highly skilled and has a stinky bad attitude. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. So it's really not our aptitude that gets us promoted in life nearly as much as our attitude. Your choice of attitude is without question the single most important choice that you make every day. Your attitude is likely, in the long run, is more important than things itself. The general public is watching, whether we like it or not. And our attitude is what they remember. And unfortunately, what they never forget. Far more than what you may preach or write or sing or say or do. And some of you have already begun a habit of negativeness toward life. Already developed a spirit of entitlement, as if you've got this earned or you deserve certain treatment. But we need to do a real revisiting of our attitudes. Put your foot down and say, I refuse to go through life with a bad attitude. I am not going to let what happened to me, who did me wrong, what I didn't get, keep me from becoming all that I was created to be. God, I know that you being for me is more than the world being against me. That's what allows God to show out in your life. But too often, we're holding on to the hurts, disappointments, the things we don't understand, that poisons our attitude, steals our passion. You have to let it go. It's a new day. You see, the aggressive response when you don't choose a good attitude is to blame or have self-pity. Both of them are pathetic. What an absolute waste. Blame never restores, it moves. Blame never solves, it complicates. Blame never unites, it separates. Blame never smiles, it frowns. Blame never forgives, it rejects. Blame never forgets, it remembers. Blame never builds, it destroys. Some of you think you've got all these problems and you're blaming everything on your problems, but it's not your problems, it's your attitude towards your problems. That's the problem. Viktor Frankl was in the concentration camps, and he said, you can take away every right that I have, but there's one thing you cannot take away from me. And it was. He said, that's my attitude. It's mine. And if I want to have a good one, nobody can make me have a bad one. The choice of attitude made all the difference in the life of Viktor Frankl. They will not make me hate. I will live in hope, he said. They will not make me bitter. I will forgive. They will not make me mean-spirited. I will love. They cannot make me anything I do not choose for myself. So what kind of attitude do you have today? What kind? Your attitude is yours, and nobody can force you to have a bad one if you don't want to. I'm going to say it again. Your attitude is yours. Doesn't belong to somebody else. And nobody can make you have a bad attitude if you don't want to have a bad attitude. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. How many of y'all believe that? Let me know in the comments. Let me know right now. Maybe we don't think about it like that. Maybe we think, well, you know, I'm just like this because I got all these problems. But being like that doesn't solve your problems. It doesn't change your problems. What it does is it makes you miserable, and probably most of the people around you. Nobody enjoys being around somebody for very long with a bad attitude. You have a choice each day you live regarding the attitudes you choose. How important it is that we let that attitude stay positive. You can change the way you live by changing the way you think. I hope that comes into you. You can change the way you live by changing the way you think. Chuck Swindoll wrote this one time. It's one of the finest things he ever wrote. He said this: the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, and what other people think, say, or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude that we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing that we can do is play on the one thing that we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. So it is with you. We are in charge of our attitude. So I challenge you today, truck drivers. When you wake up, have a good attitude. You go to bed, have a good attitude. No matter what life throws at you, let's see what it takes you. Appreciate you watching today's video. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and TikTok. And remember, Trucking Life with John. Let's get it.